Okay, guys, before I turn this clip on, it's going to pretty much tell you exactly what I was going to do in another video. Another video I was going to do was regarding Fani Willis and the opposition finding out from AT&T. um, Nathan Wade had his cell phone records released. So I want to welcome you to Graceful Exposure. I am the Miss Grace. I am here not to be salacious, but to just keep bringing you up on the facts so that you often stay in reality. So here we are. We are about to watch this for about 10 minutes, and it is simply stating that there was some cell phone records that were released. These records released what this what is going to be released here is going to discuss how when DA Fani Willis was elected to be DA, she fired her office. Everyone was fired and they had to re-interview and reapply. And guess, guys, who did the interviewing? Nathan Wade himself. He wasn't even a part of our office. And she and he sat down and interviewed her staff, her team. So she cleared out house and got around her people that she thought or felt that would be loyal and trustworthy to the almighty dollar. But people are fickle and finicky. And apparently that did not happen. So she rehired everyone as part of her team to be in her district attorney's office. Not only that, she took this man that she met. Now, this was in 2019, and she allowed him to be one of the leads with her on choosing who to hire or keep on the assignment or rehire or fire. And she got a whole new team when she became DA. So there was already some things that she wanted to make sure that kept hidden that were not going to be above board. So she patted herself, or so she thought she patted herself. Then once she did that, she hired this man for a job. And in addition to that, she um, does not know, well, she does know now that they have found phone records that show that Prosecutor Nathan Wade's phone was at her home where she stayed till 4 a.m. on several nights, several nights. And they text back and forth wee hours of the morning, all the time, showing that there was a relationship going. How they're going to try to suppress that, I do not know. The judge is going to meet in his own chambers with Nathan Wade, and he's going to have to come up with some answers. So that motion, that is client attorney privilege, is knocked out of the ballpark because the judge will be able to at least hear those things that were said. One of the other things that was mentioned is that the judge and his wife gave several donations. I think I heard spoke that he gave a $150 donation to her campaign. I don't know if that's relevant. It's such a small amount, but I heard that his wife gave quite a bit of money, and that is all allegedly. So let's just listen to what he's saying and let you guys decide. This is just some more information keeping you updated on what's going on with the Fani Willis case. All right, so let's try to bring this in and turn this up. And I want you to watch his channel. I think he's from the Black Perspective. Black and White Network channel. That's his channel, guys. Go and subscribe to it. John Nathan.
Well, guys, I have a question. Who is Nathan Wade? What I mean is, who is Nathan Wade truly? Now, we do know that he met Fani Willis back in 2019. He was hired for the Trump case in 2021. Near the end of the year, they said their relationship became romantic somewhere around March and April of 2022. Now, I don't think many people actually believe that. People have questioned, and they actually do believe that this relationship started back in 2019 when they met. That's what I believe. I believe that Fani Willis is corrupt. I believe that Fani Willis and Nathan Wade have lied on the stand. They have
Check
perjured
and
themselves,
check
and you know
and
what?
check.
If you actually commit perjury, you can actually go to prison. Will that happen? I'm not really sure. We also know that Nathan Wade is panicking because his divorce lawyer is actually going to be talking to the judge, I believe, tomorrow. And that could really change everything because the judge has rejected Nathan Wade's request that his divorce attorney doesn't speak. He has to speak to the judge. Folks, it seems like about once a week, we always find out something new.
Mm-hmm.
New bombshell information on Fani Willis and Nathan Wade. Their relationship. Now, Fani Willis was sworn into office as the Fulton County DA in 2020. But we found out something else. When she actually got to the DA's office, she brought in a team. And guess who was actually a part of that team? Oh, yeah, Nathan Wade. So let's get into it, guys. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. Remember, live stream every single Friday, just starts at $5 per month. If you're watching the video on Rumble, click the join button, get access to the same thing. So here we go. Look at this here. Nathan Wade led Fani Willis' 2020 transition into office. This, folks, may be a conflict of interest. Interesting that this man is really the shot caller when it comes to who is actually going to remain in that office. Because there was already employees in there, and essentially Fani Willis fired everyone, and they had to re-interview for their job. And guess who made the final decision? Nathan Wade. Can't make this up, guys, so let's go ahead and read some of this. Nathan Wade made the decisions to hire or fire employees in Fulton County DA's office following Fulton County Prosecutor Fani Willis's election victory in November 2020. Multiple sources familiar with the Wade and Willis relationship exclusively told Breitbart News. The revelation of Wade's previously unreported position as the former personal decision maker for the DA's office raises ethical and conflict of interest concerns. It also raises questions about whether Wade and Willis have been forthright about the timeline of their affair. I don't believe so. I believe they lied. This thing, and her friend has already said under oath anyway, that this relationship started in 2019. Quote, Wade is a prosecutor on the Trump case, and he selected the office employees, a source told Breitbart News. Now, this is kind of key right here. If this man hired every single person in Fani Willis's office, if Fani Willis and Nathan Wade get disqualified, it's not going to, this case is not going to remain in office. I don't believe she can just recuse herself and have someone else in her office take over, because Nathan Wade and Fani Willis hired this entire office. Yeah, this could be a major, major problem. Wade led a transition team of 10 to 12 people who interviewed and evaluated current employees to remain in Willis's newly won office just weeks after she won the election in November, said the sources, who wished to remain anonymous for fear of retribution due to their direct knowledge of the environment inside the DA's office, which they categorize as corrupt. So people inside of Fani Willis's office are saying It's corrupt in there. I'm not surprised, Brian Kemp, you look more like a moron each and every day. Wade, a second source told Breitbart News, was in charge of determining who of the 250 office employees would remain with Willis. Sources described one-on-one interviews behind closed doors with Willis and Wade, who was, quote, too invested to be just a friend of Willis to hold such a powerful position. Yeah, now this man was not an employee of Fani Willis, but he was making all the calls. Hmm, interesting. People kind of
Guys.
know. I mean, if people are messing around, guess what? I mean, if people are messing around, guess what? Everybody knows. Okay? Everybody knows. People aren't blind to that. Now, check this out. This is when they said that Fani Willis pretty much fired everyone. Quote, Willis said everyone in the office was essentially all terminated, and that essentially we had to reapply for our jobs and must submit an application and schedule a time to appear for an interview, a source said. We had to reapply and came back in so they could interview everyone, from lawyers to paralegals to assistants to investigators. And in that room, in my interview, there were a lot of people other than Fani Willis. And that was her transition team. I
Now, was that OCD or was that cover up? What would you say that was? That she's OCD and very careful in who works with her, or was she covering up something?
definitely know that Nathan Wade was in that room because he was taking the lead role, the source stated. And I was a little confused because I had never seen him
Type in the
before.
box, Nathan takes the
I had
lead.
about maybe 10 people in the interview. Another source described the interview process of Wade. Quote, Nathan definitely was up, moving around, and taking charge in the room. Wade hired the entire office of 250 employees, the person said. I was just telling him my employment background, and they just sit there and look at me, and they said, well, you'll get an email on our decision. And that's what Wade said. And he looked at Willis. They looked at each other. There was just something so weird going on. Wow. The sources did not initially know who Wade was during the transition process, but they told Breitbart News they questioned why Willis would outsource the transition process to unknown actors. Now, quote, why was he a part of the hiring process and making the decisions as to who gets hired and fired when he wasn't even an employee or authorized to be in the room? A source question. Yeah, I've never went to an interview, guys, and interview with people that didn't actually work at the company. It never happened. So this is definitely strange, if you ask me, in my opinion.
People do a lot
After
of
the re-interview
strange
process, Wade
things
and
for a
Willis,
piece of
quote,
change.
started eliminating everybody or anybody that was too close and in control of the office operations, the second source said. Willis, sources asserted, violated the friends and family policy by hiring friends and family and hiding it from the county with fungible state and county dollars. Wow. All the people that worked on her campaign became the inner circle, one source familiar with the inner workings of the office said. In January, Trump and co-defendant Michael Roman accused Willis of maintaining an improper romantic relationship with Wade. Willis and Wade took the stand in February to testify about whether their relationship disqualified Willis from prosecuting Trump.
Sounds like
Yeah,
they
this
ran a
office, man,
communist office,
definitely seems
like communism,
completely corrupt.
completely
I
controlled
mean,
by
she was
her.
horrible on the stand. Nathan Wade was terrible on the stand. And now apparently Nathan Wade hired everyone in that office when he really wasn't a part of her team. Think about that, guys. She outsourced the transition process. She fired everyone. Nathan Wade hired everyone. Something's fishy, man. something is definitely fishy with Nathan Wade and Fannie Willis. Will they survive this? That's just my thoughts on this.
Yeah,
What do you
on
guys
grandmama
think
and
of
them
this?
couch
Black and White Network fans,
without a
let us
house
know
or
what you think
back
about
to
all this in the
daddy's
comments.
house.
Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
All right, guys. So, what do you think about that? What do you think about that news? And the part that I didn't get into, that he didn't get into, that I wanted to talk about was there are text messages, and I briefly wanted to bring that up to you about the text messages, give you just a little bit of that so that I don't have to do two videos. Just go ahead and give you a little bit of that part of it. I'm just trying to be thorough because I don't like to start something and you don't know the whole situation.
This case has never been about politics,
text messages,
or personal vendetta.
We're going to find them. And then I'm going to talk to you about another woman that is just as bad as her, Mayor Tiffany Henyard from Chicago, Dalton area. I want to get to the text messages for you. Let me find the guy real quick, real quick. Before my granddaughter comes in and from getting her bath that her mama's giving her. She always wants to sleep with her nana. I miss her. I haven't seen her in a week. There it is. Okay, here we go. We're going to talk about these text messages. One day ago. Okay. Give me a minute. Just hold on. Here it is. I think I got it. Yep. Okay, here goes, guys. Y'all ready? I'm going to go right into this as soon as we get this commercial out of the way. Here we go. At least you got tropical commercial to look at. Some nice beach girls. Here we go. All right. Now let's get your sound going. Oh, did we miss that one? Hit the wrong button, y'all. Sorry. So anxious to get this to you. How many like anxious news? We're going to take it home from here, y'all. Got to get it on down here now. Back to YouTube. Here we go. Here we go. Sorry. Could have just did it the next day. But I had to want to give it to you. Just be patient with me. Oh gosh, looks like I might have to talk it to you. Anyway, the text messages were subpoenaed from AT&T, and they came back with them a week later, and they had evidence of Nathan Wade being in the area of Hapeville where she lays her head, she likes to say, under all that money. And she was able to, it was able to show that she and he were texting each other like girlfriend, boyfriend, dating, engaged, that type of texting and texting and texting. So you can imagine what it revealed. It revealed not just text, but the text messages Not all of them, though.
Smile, then my job is complete. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug Tenaple. This is where the happy patriots
Make
are.
sure you
We don't
subscribe
give
to
up.
him.
That's part of being a happy patriot. We never give in.
Make sure you subscribe to him. He has a lot of commentary. Doug in Exile.
Donald Trump's election interference case, an attorney has said. Writing on X, former Twitter Andrew Weissman, the former general counsel for the FBI, said text messages between the pair are something that those following the case should keep an eye out for. So we're following the case. So we're doing what this FBI guy says. Who would know? And we're going to follow these texts. Any of you who have texted, I know my audience is my age and up. Are you guys still texting out there? How would you feel about having your text exposed to public, or do you behave on text? Write in the comments below if you only text things to your friends that you would expose to the public. Willis, the Fulton County just I think she's going with the cash story. In response, Roman said that the pair's relationship started earlier than they had disclosed, which is going to make them out to be liars so that they're not credible. Even when they talk about their relationship, it also says they're not credible about where they spend their cash. After the hearing, Judge Scott McAfee said he would review text messages sent between Wade and his former law partner, Terrence Bradley. So Terrence Bradley is the guy who is under attorney-client privilege. We went over a lot of that on
Terrence
that
was
last
the mole.
video. Trump's team said that the messages show Wade committed perjury over his disclosures about when his relationship with Willis started. There it is. So they can't put these texts out to the public, but they can show it to the judge, and then the judge can just make a calling and say, yeah, this is perjury. Fani Willis must be removed. The judge could do that right now by himself just based on these texts, and that's why they could turn this whole thing around with just one word. I don't believe the Trump team would have turned these texts over or pushed on them unless they knew what they said. So I believe they had access to them probably by Terrence Bradley, probably showed them to them, and so they sent these to the judge. And now we'll find out if the judge is honest, which there's question. I don't know. There's this judge, he seems like a good guy, seems like a straight shooter, but you never know until you see which side they lean on. Weissman wrote, what to keep an eye out for in Georgia hearing, there's uncontradicted evidence of Willis Wade going Dutch, the issue the judge said he cared about. Will that change? New evidence Wade did use Cash App, which Wade says she believed he didn't use. So she paid in cash. See, that's why she paid him in cash, is because she claimed he didn't use the Cash App. What if in text or on his phone we have evidence that he did use the Cash App? Weissman said, will the judge admit Wade's attorney's texts? And if so, do they contradict the Wade Willis testimony regarding the personal relationship when it started, which is not really at all relevant to the money issue, which the court said is the main focus. Following the hearing, a series of legal analysts said they did not think Willis should be disqualified from the case, but again, those are mostly Democrats. Barbara McQuaid is a former U.S. attorney under the Barack Obama administration, guilty. And MSNBC legal analyst, she wrote on X, former Twitter, on Sunday, Fani Willis made a terrible decision to date Nathan Wade, and that may bring ethics issues for her, but her testimony dispelled any kickback scheme that would disqualify her. That's not true. Nothing about this affects the fair trial rights of Trump and co-defendants. No, her testimony said that she washed money in cash. It does not mean that she's exonerated, because for all we
So what I want to get to,
happy patriots unite.
Some of this text message stuff that they found and we're reading. And let's see where it goes to. I know she objected to getting her records released, but we're talking text messages.
Let me
Let's see. I think it's here.
We are over at the independent.co.uk. That means it's
Sorry, guys, this isn't ending up very well, and I'm trying to find where they literally read how these text messages go. But you can go ahead and find it on your own. I
Nathan
just wanted to
Wade
make you
tried to
aware,
shut up the witness, Terrence Bradley, his old lawyer.
just to make you aware that the text messages have come forward and they weren't able to get those texts. And it showed
Well, the
him at
View
her
argues over if
apartment
Biden or Trump are going to have a
at
debate. And
times
Joy Behar, her
that
fangs come
a
out. That
boyfriend would
really
be over
is
an
her
apartment.
fangs. I did not
And I believe
Photoshop
the reason
those
why,
teeth on there. Welcome to
now
Doug
see,
in
they won't even
Exile. I'm
let
Doug
me.
Tenapel. This is where the happy patriots are.
Here we go. Oh, Jesus. Um, they found records of him leaving her house at 4 something a.m., calling her at 4:20 as if I'm home now, and going over at 10:45. Those kind of hours. They said they didn't stay the night. I guess that would constitute not staying the night if you didn't stay till 6 a.m. So these things were going on, and I'm afraid that um, there were messages from with each other. I'm not sure how much they're revealing, but they do reveal where the phone was at what time and how many times, and it was hundreds of times during a certain time period. A number of times that we didn't even text our significant other. So it's definitely something to be desired. So I don't want to keep you on. I just want to give you that little piece, give you some stuff that you can look up, that you can find out things on your own. Like she feels confident that she's going to be able to remain on the Trump trial. I doubt it very seriously. What this is going to mean is that Fani set this up. She's more corrupt than you want to make her out to be. She is kind of person that knew what she was going into. She knew the power she had in front of her as a DA. She brought a man along with her that could get it done, and she paid him enough so that they can both have money. The smartest thing she could have did was make sure she put some money in the bank and some money in those places where she lays her head, and make sure that when they get out of this, they're not getting out of this broke, because they're going to have some things that they have to answer to, and people they have to pay back, some campaign funds possibly that they have to pay back. I don't anticipate her going to jail because she probably is not a first offender, but I assure you, she is hood. She's hood because only a hood chick would think of doing like this. And she is hood enough to take on being able to line her pockets. And my hat is off to her in that light. Being smart enough to do that, but being dumb enough to have a douchebag um, work with you and set you up, because he's going to set you up. He's going to throw you under the bag. And you all are going to see this before this is over with. Nathan Wade, in order to be remain the special prosecutor, is going to be he's going to have that olive branch rolled out to him, and they're going to terminate Fani Willis. She's going to lose her job and her integrity, and he's going to keep his job and keep it pushing like most men do when they leave a woman, leave her scorned and leave her in the dust. That's what's going to happen to Fani Willis. Many things that she speak highly of him about, she won't be speaking highly of him about after this. She's going to be reminded of as the person that Clinton let keep the blue dress with the on it. So that's it. That's all I have for you tonight. I wanted to give you a little bit about the um, Chicago mayor, to let you know that she's not the only woman embarrassing the black women. And I might just give you about 10 minutes of that. But thank you. Yes, I am ready to end this now. Most definitely. Where do I end this at? Right here. Is this how I end it? Nope. I want to say this. Do you think that by Monday she'll be fired? Yes or no? Let me put this down. Okay, let me talk into it. Do you think by Monday she will be fired? Do you think, well, I want to type it in, speak now. Do you think by Monday she will be fired? I'll just type it in. She will be fired. Or I say, let go from this position, this DA position by Monday. Okay, there you can answer. Start the poll. It is started, and you guys can go. Have a good night. This is Miss Fani Willis and the Trump case being disqualified. Say goodbye, Miss Willis, for the night. You and Miss Prissy here. Y'all had a rough and rumble. Be nice to put y'all in a boxing room with some boxing gloves. Black girl, white girl. Definitely. I'd like to see that.